Good morning, comic book fans. Welcome back to Comics in 5 Minutes. I'm your ever-loving host, Shorty, and as you can probably tell, I'm in the winter plumage now. It's very, very cold in Huddersfield, so I've got an extra layer of hoodie and a scarf on. Expect to see this is pretty much a normal get-up for me at work from now on, just as a bit of a warning. Other warning, this is going to get political. We're going to talk about a thing called Truth. This one was kind of all put out as an LGBTQIA plus comic book. All the marketing material was talking about it, and I was looking forward to reading it. Kind of because of that, I'm admitting. And we're pointing out that straight away, something about it kind of hit me as odd. I've recently become aware of the phrase coded as lesbian from watching some videos on the Matrix movies. My gaydar is practically non-existent, so it's something I never really picked up on. But now I'm aware, I kind of look for that kind of thing, and it's kind of nice to see that I didn't instantly have that kind of feeling when I saw this. Other people more attuned to things might do, but I kind of like the fact that they went a bit of a different way there. And it's worth remembering that it is that kind of story throughout this, because it doesn't appear as such, and I like that. It's done very, very well indeed. Before we get into the story and the writing, we'll talk about the artwork, because it's a weird thing to describe the artwork as well, because I genuinely love it. I think it's brilliant, and it does a lot of things I like really, really well. It doesn't have like overblown page layouts. It does have some nice kind of interesting splash page things, panels and the like. But what it does is just effectively tell the story well through character design and art layouts. It doesn't try to be its own thing. I'm not selling this on the artwork, although it is very, very good indeed. One of the examples I found I really quite like is just this shot here of woman in contemplation. It's just perfectly simple in what it's supposed to be doing. It lays out everything I need to do. Facial expression, the way she's sitting, the hair, the clothes, everything is done brilliantly without necessarily being flashy. And I like that. It's very, very good indeed. This pretty much, I was going to get to a page I'm going to need for later on. Right. So, that being said, the story starts with somebody, the woman, in fact, whose name I can never remember, talking about the fact that she's created something for a pharmaceutical company, which will be 10 times cheaper than their competitors, be able to sell it to like every hospital in the world. It's designed to survive in the harshest conditions. Effectively, it's going to save the world for a lot of places, specifically south of the equator. And she's very, very proud of it, and it's her life work. When she gets home, she's still talking about it. There's also the stuff going on here that's actually really kind of cool in terms of character development. Basically, you get the fact that she has been married before. There's issues with her being obsessed with the work rather than making time for a relationship, and some even kind of contradictory things as well, which is nice. It's not a simple character. I like that. Now, when you get a comic book and you know something bad's going to happen, it's going to be a part of plot development, you can kind of sometimes get an inkling about what's going on. And as I've gotten older, I've gone considerably more to the left, seeing capitalism as more of an evil thing and leaning quite heavily into anarchism. And 15 years ago, if I'd have been reading this comic book and it'd been like, okay, so this woman, clearly the protagonist, is working on some very expensive thing that could save the world. It's probably going to be some kind of corporate espionage, and some other corporation going to come in and potentially kidnap her to try and find it so they can take advantage of her work. These days, when I saw that, I thought, oh, so the company she works for is going to try and claim her research as her own, sell it for way more than she wants to, and make a bunch of money while not saving the world. Guess which one happened? It's just kind of I know it seems kind of an obvious thing, but honestly, I think it's kind of telling that where people are in their lives, they can see a different story coming, and I think it's kind of nice that they went this way. And it is a kind of anti-capitalist, very leftist kind of comic book. And that's not to say I think it's good because it's leftist. It is, but it's just a very good comic book. One of my favorite examples of this one is how they use kind of a situation. Doctor, who is apparently resigned, been thrown out of a job, goes and gets drunk, and as a way of showing that she's going to live life to the full, lifts up her top like that. You don't get to see anything major, but it's a thing they do. And then people in the crowd do the same thing as well. And my very masculine, very hetero mind went to somebody else in the crowd lift their shirt up, and I looked, because of course I am. I don't claim to be perfect. But what I like is the subversion of that, because that is the person doing it, and on her chest is written "Riots for Rights," and I quite like the fact that that is done. I almost certainly deliberately, because a male gaze is going to be drawn to that point, and the writer then gets to use that to sell something, and I really appreciate it. So all the leftist stuff, yeah, that's cool. It's excellent. It's happening. I'm really in favor of it. Is the writing any good? Yes, it is. As I said before, the character background stuff that they delve into is really well handled. It's all kind of done through contemporary conversations about things in the past without having to rely too much on flashbacks, which I don't mind, but I don't like them being overused. And I think every single beat they take actually adds to character development. There's also like a really nice twist at the end in terms of the story, which I don't want to spoil too much about. But say it starts in a very Thelma and Louise kind of way, which I never mentioned at all, but absolutely does. Then jumps into like a day-to-day thing of what's going on with this woman and her medical research. What happens at the end kind of ties back to it, but in a way that doesn't make as much sense unless you really start poking around in the story. And that's good because it invites you to do that. It isn't simplistic point A to point B storytelling. It isn't everything on the line to a denouement. It is basically, let's have fun on the way. Let's wrap a narrative around these characters and make the characters the focus. And I love that kind of storytelling, and I thoroughly enjoyed this book. I hope everyone else picks it up, likes it just as much as I did. That's it for now. I'm coming back later on the day because there's way too much to review this week. I'm either going to do Human Target or Heathens. Probably be Human Target today. I did Rush yesterday and really enjoyed it, but Tom King's A Rise is worth paying attention to. So if you're in the mood for some Human Target, check back at 5:30 GMT. And if you're watching this or watching any of my videos, hit like, hit subscribe, hit the little bell thing, comment, tell your friends about us. It's what we do. We like reviewing comic books. It's fun. But until I see you again, look after each other, everyone. Stay safe. Bye.